Hey, what's going on? I'm the Gay Relationist, and yesterday we talked about bug chasers and gift givers. And just to recap on that a little bit, these are people who look to become HIV positive and look to make someone HIV positive, who should not be judged at all by this community. That's the main thing I want to make sure that people understand. It doesn't help to judge the mindset of these people. I'm sure there are a lot of people that probably believe, Lord, they're crazy, they're stupid, they're dumb. Why would anybody want to give HIV to another person? Or why would someone want to be HIV positive? But that is the start of their particular type of love of relationship when you meet somebody who's a bug chaser and a gift giver. Excuse me. The only thing that I say to these particular individuals, that number one, remember that gay relationships come and go. I mean, it's 1 in a million that you find a relationship that you stay with 20, 35 years. It's possible. It could happen, and that is the goal that I hope for myself, and I hope for everybody in the gay community that wants to be in a gay relationship or wants to be in a successful gay relationship. But since we know the track record and we know sometimes the mindset of our own community and people, if you become HIV positive, you got to be able. You can't rely on somebody else to know to bring you through that disease. Okay, you got to understand the ramifications of what you're getting yourself into. If you're two consenting adults that want that to happen or whatever, then you need to be sure that throughout all that you love yourself and that you can handle yourself just in case that relationship does not work out. So that's all I want to say on bug chasing and gift givers. I've already gotten tweets, beats, and shit about saying what I said. So just understand that's my main concern with that whole alliance there. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about sero-discordant relationships, or relationships which are one person positive and one person negative. And I'm going to talk about the real fear that comes in that relationship. Now, I wouldn't have any fear. Now, let me restate that. Everybody's gonna have fear. I'm gonna tell you what that fear is. There's several fears, in fact. But before we even get into that, I want to make sure that you understand that the main subside the fear, and that love can happen in that relationship. You can find love being HIV positive, okay? And I want to state that also those relationships are relationships that you can be happy in. You see, you got sero-discordant and you have sero-sorting, which I'll get into sero-sorting tomorrow. But and that's Sero-sorting is the act of finding someone else that is actually HIV positive and only dealing with those people in their relationship and in that capacity. But when it comes to sero-discordant relationships, here is the main fear, and we just got to admit this to ourselves and get past that fear. If you're in a relationship or you are ever had this talk or discussion with yourself or whatever, about being in a relationship, you're negative, and you want to be in a relationship with somebody, and they could be HIV positive. Could I really do that? Well, yes. Will you stay in it? That's a whole different story. And the main thing to remember is, or the main fear that you have to admit is that you are scared to become positive. That is what makes you fearful. But more than that, you want to think of yourself. I know a lot of people want to think of themselves as educated, intelligent, smart. So that I know I don't succumb to my fear because I'm past all that. I'm educated. I know what to expect. I know how to. My partner gets sick. I understand. When things happen, I know how to handle it. I'm educated. I know how it's transmitted. All that other stuff. You got all the information. You got the books. You set. You good. But you still have that fear, and you don't want to be known as prejudiced because that fear is living inside of you with being with someone that could make you HIV positive. Well, let me tell you, the HIV negative person, if you are in a relationship and have that fear, or if you're negative and that is something that scares you, anybody who cares about you, any HIV positive person that really cares about you, period, and it doesn't matter, they have the same fear for you. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I just want to be sure that you get it clear that anybody who loves you and care about you have that same fear. So the person who is positive in your life that you want to be with, that person has the same fear for you. So together, it is a mission that you don't become positive if that is the case. Don't think that you're just sitting alone and you're prejudiced, that you have this sort of prejudice within you. No, it's quite normal and quite fine that you have this sort of fear and caution within you. And again, the person who loves you has the same caution, because because you don't know what it's like for them to walk on eggshells and do everything they possibly can to make sure that you're safe. Because that's the true nature of anything in a relationship, to make sure the partner that you're with is safe from harm. Anybody in a loving relationship will want that. So don't think that you're the only one that's on the mission of making sure that you don't become positive in a sero-discordant relationship. Okay? Now, that's the first major fear. The second fear is are you able to take care of somebody and handle the illness and the disease itself that comes with dating someone who is HIV positive? And that's another fear. And now, yes, there are better drugs. Yes, there is a cure that works for a minute amount of people, but not for everybody. So that is not really a cure for the masses. So, but there are drugs that allow you to live 40 years, but yes, there's still illness. You get sick, you can get pneumonia, there's things that happen. We could get that strain of staph, or you can get that strain of syphilis, or whatever it is, and your partner life could be in danger if they're HIV positive. Yes, all that can go together. I'm kind of made a long drawn-out sentence, but I want to be sure that those fears run through your mind about taking care of your partner. Again, that goes back to wanting the best and wanting your partner to be safe from harm and safe from illness and sickness. But you gotta go. But it's a natural feeling of responsibility to want to handle that. I know if you had a magic wand, you would want to tap your partner on the head and say, "Ding, you're not positive anymore. I've cured you." You want to be that savior for that person. But the most that you can do is love that person. Be there for that person the best you can. Be there for each other the best you know how. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. But what relationship is not? So don't see HIV as the main thing that's going to cause all the problems in your relationship. It's going to be one out of many problems that's going to happen. And we forgot all about aggravation, depression, every other action. We just forgot about all that. Normal things that people go through, you're gonna go through yourself. So I just want to those are two fears I wanted to get out there. You got the fear of becoming positive yourself. You got the fear of thinking, are you going to be able to handle your partner being sick, and are you going to be able to take care of that person when the time comes, if the time is needed? And yes, there's also fear that HIV can take on being HIV positive can take on a mountain of financial burden, and that goes along with the health part of it as well. You do like good times. Do you remember good times? Remember James Evans and Florida Evans? Remember that show was beautiful, because let me tell you, any problem that they came across, it was a problem, and yet it was, but they did like that, and they took care of it, and they stood the family. So I want to be sure that you understand that being in a sero-discordant relationship, being in that type of family, being in that type of unit, it's just one problem that your relationship can withstand. You just got to come with love, understanding, admit your fear. You both get past it, and you have the relationship that you always wanted with happiness and success. So that's me. That's Game Relationist. I've rambled a little bit, but this is a subject that that I felt like really need to be addressed. That you don't have to, you're not a bigot, you're not, and this is all the HIV negative people, you're not a bigot, you're not prejudiced, you're not all those ills because you're dating someone who's HIV positive and you don't want to have that yourself. So sometimes you will jump like a frog on a hot plate. No one's expecting it unless you're human. Humans make mistakes, but love will see you through. I know that's a cliche, but love will see you through, and your intelligence in your mind will see you through if you approach it with respect and love. And that's always, I'm the gay relationist. Peace the fuck out.